Hello everyone, Mr. Sorgan here, and welcome back to another installment of, I don't really have a name for the series, it's just a character showcase for LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Today we are taking a look at Jim Lee. Jim Lee, a famous contributor to the DC Comics and the current head of DC Comics at the moment, the more you know. I'm going to dive into a little bit of his history, some of his works, and, enjoy some gameplay of him in LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. So, let's get to it, and as always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, because this is the year of DC. Anyway, so Jim Lee was a comic book artist, famously known for, he was kind of the newer age of comic book artists, which is really good, because, he was born in the 60s as a, not necessarily, a refugee, but his parents were of the Korean War, and so he was brought to the U.S. and raised in the U.S., and he was basically told for the longest time that he was to be a doctor because a way to honor what they sacrificed. But Jim Lee said that he always wanted to draw, and because of that, he is known for a lot of fantastic drawings. He became a drawer and create his own style after mainly in college when he was inspired by the likes of two really important comic books at the time, Watchmen and The Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, the two defining ones of that year. Now, he did work on a lot of projects, including Marvel ones, which we have to quickly talk about because that is mainly how he got his start and I think deserves more credit than he gets for DC. I'm going to roll back on that for a moment because he was able to create a wildly popular X-Men character known as Gambit. We co-created it, and he worked on the War Journal. Now, he is most famous for his work on Superman because he was able to work on so many Superman stories, including, oh boy, this is going to be a list, isn't it? Superman for Tomorrow, Superman Unchained, and he also worked on Justice League. He also was the person who worked on the art for Batman Hush, and he was also able to work for All-Star Batman. He is known for a lot of his work. Mainly Superman stuff. I really do think that in the New 52 era, his design of Superman was pretty damn good. Scott Snyder gets a lot of credit for the writing, but I definitely think the artwork worked really well. He is a really interesting person. He feels really hardworking, a really good individual who is able to create some really fantastic designs and really great characters. For those who don't know, some of his work was done in, weird tangent, I know, was used for the X-Men animated series. But what was actually really interesting for him was he was, I can't find the words for some reason, I deeply apologize for that. He was able to kind of expand and kind of create a lot of great work. I know that's a weird way of doing things. He definitely seems a bit more socially aware of what's going on in the world, which is something I really do appreciate more for the industry of comic books and where they are going, especially due to the rise of a particular evil substance whose name is Intelligence Artificial. But one thing he did that was really, really awesome, his artwork is amazing, was he did a drawing of Red Hood, Jason Todd, which sold on eBay, and he used to help donate and fund some comic book stores that were doing really horrible during the pandemic, because that's when he was sworn in as DC's new CEO, and it's really interesting to see where he was able to go for that. Now, he did work on Image Comics, which I do have to talk about quickly about Image Comics because I think Image Comics is a really interesting studio in that they are always just like, we care about artists first and then successful, which is really cool. He does a lot of great variant covers. He designed the new Scorpion for Injustice 2. But I know you're probably thinking, why does he have pencils in this game? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's because he mainly uses pencils to draw his work, which is, I know it's like, what? But it's just like, no, he mainly used pencils. Like, if you look at the Punisher stuff, that stuff was mainly used for his old pencil equipment. And I think that's really, really awesome. And he also used a panel correction fluid pen. So, yeah. So he does also have this concept of that he wants to improve his arts. Like, for every project, he does want to indeed get better. But again, he always does feel like he wants to do better, and he's culturally aware of stuff. He has asked about his some of his artistic inspirations, and he claims that some of them are Neil Adams, John Breyer, Kevin Nolan, Michael Nolan, Art Adams, Milo Miranda, and Barry Winslow Smith. The more you know. Sorry, this is a completely weird tangent, I know, but this is definitely longer than today's one. So yeah, I do like his work. It is really interesting. But yeah, even again, because he's just really socially inept. Like, I do think he is the right leader for DC Comics at the moment. He's definitely knowing the direction the company needs to go, and is a lot more, again, socially aware of the situation. I think that comes down to, again, him being a refugee. But yeah, I honestly, it's one of those things where it's just like, I can't say a lot of bad things about him. He's a hardworking guy. He's worked with both, not only DC, Marvel, he also worked for, I know Vertigo is part of DC, but he worked for Image Comics. He also did stuff for Dark Horse. He's the Umbrella also covered. He worked for Aspen. So yeah, he's able to experiment, and that's one thing I really like about the guy. He's not really a writer. He is a drawer. That's why he's the co-creator of Gambit. And I do think Gambit does speak to his strengths. The New 52, I don't think the New 52 was well written, but definitely the character designs and drawings were really great. So, Jim Lee, I give you credit, sir. Now, I know this feels like a bit short, but just like, hey, I got nothing else to say. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because, it just helps us out on the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow with another one of these. Till then, that's it for me. Bye-bye.